Welcome to Let's Get Cooking Arizona Mexican Food with Janine. Today we're going to do my ground beef tacos. They're the quickest and the easiest. I'm going to show you how to spice the meat and how to cook the meat to make awesome ground beef tacos. Okay, I cooked the ground beef just to where it's cooked but not browned, okay? And see all that watery stuff? I don't want that stuff in my taco meat. So what I do is I take a paper towel. I'm going to grab a paper towel. I take a paper towel and I get a lot of that water that I don't want in my taco meat out of there. It doesn't taste that good. So I just take some paper towels, and I don't soak it all up, but I soak quite a bit of it up. I don't want it in my meat. And unfortunately, that's just the way we're getting it from the store these days. Okay, now that we have our meat just cooked but not browned, I go ahead and add, I have 2 jalapenos with seeds for heat. I put those in, and I have 1 small onion. I go ahead and put that in. And you stir those in, and then you want to cook this until your onions look a little bit translucent. Now that we have the vegetables added, the onion and the jalapeno, we can go ahead and start adding our spices while we're waiting for the onions to get translucent. Dark chili powder, for this amount, about 2 tablespoons. Can you see that? I hope. Cumin. Again, about 2 tablespoons for this amount of meat. Now, cayenne pepper is what I use to add heat if I don't have my fresh jalapenos. But I had the jalapenos, so we're good with that. Garlic, about 2 tablespoons. A little bit of piquin, not a lot, because again, I have my 2 jalapenos, so I don't want to add a lot. I'm going to add about a teaspoon. And about a teaspoon of pepper. And then salt. I'm going to add some salt, but I always go light on the salt until the end to see if it needs more salt. It's better to undersalt in the beginning than oversalt. You can always add more salt. This is for the last step of cooking the taco meat. Go ahead and stir in your ingredients. And wait for those onions to get a little bit translucent. Not caramelized, but just a little bit translucent. Okay, my meat is starting to brown, so I just take a scoop and I turn it over. I try to turn the bulk of it over to brown the other side. It's probably hard to see that browning, but it is browning. Then you flip it over once and just brown it one more time. And then after it's browned one more time, we've got one more step to do. Hi, so my meat is brown now. It's good and browned. It's not every piece is brown, it's just there should be brown throughout your meat. There should be a little bit of browning throughout the meat, and pretty consistent. And when you get to this stage, you can take whatever salsa, if you've got fresh salsa, or if you buy pecani or something from the store. I put 2 spoonfuls in. This is 2 of these big spoonfuls, a little over 2 pounds of meat. You just stir that, and it moistens up your meat a little bit after you browned it. You don't want dry meat. And that gives it a little more color with the tomatoes from the sauce. And we're ready to test this. Once you get that blended real well, I'm testing for the salt content, if it's salty enough and if it's sweet enough. Okay. Usually by adding the hot sauce or the pecani, the tomatoes and have sweetness to them. And usually it's enough. Okay, it needs a little more salt. I put about a tablespoon this time. And if it's not as sweet as I want it, I will put a pinch of sugar in it. But I generally don't need to. I generally get enough sweetness from the sauce I put in it. Okay, let's make a couple tacos. Our meat is done. And just take a spoonful. Not that you need to know how to do this. Anybody knows how to put meat in a taco. I know that. But that'd be good to see it. We're going to put a little bit of sour cream. Now I put, because I like hot sauce so much, I put a little bit more hot sauce on them. Lettuce, finely shredded. You don't want a big piece of lettuce when you're eating. And cheese, whatever cheese you want. And then you can top it off with a little more hot sauce. Let's eat.